Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to configure Hyper-V networking. So all virtual machine products provide methods for the virtual machines to communicate with the host machine, other virtual machines, and the external network. You will learn how to create and configure virtual switches to allow communication between the different parts of this network setup. Our network setup consists of what? Client 01, client 02, set 01, set 02. Okay, so we're going to begin. So what we have to do is on the right side, you will see what we call what? Virtual Switch Manager. You click on that and you're going to see new switch. So the new switch allows us to select either in external, okay, create a virtual switch that binds the physical network adapter so that virtual machines can access a physical network. That's what internal means. Now, sorry, external. That is what external means. Now, let's look at internal. Internal means create a virtual switch that can be used only by the virtual machines that runs on this physical computer. And between the virtual machines and the physical computer, an internal virtual switch does not provide connectivity to the physical network connection. Now, finally, private allows us to what? Create a virtual switch that can be used only by the virtual machines that run on this physical computer. Okay, only virtual machines. So, okay. But before we go ahead to create either an external switch or an internal switch or a private switch, I want us to take a look and verify with PowerShell to see if we have any virtual switches already in existence. So as you can see here, it is nothing. Okay, we know there's nothing, but how do you know? In case you want to work with the core interface and verify, so it's important to understand what commands to use. So use what the get, that's what VM switch. Press enter. It should turn empty because right now we don't have any what virtual switches in the system yet. But let's check also and see if we have what virtual network adapters. Okay, so let's do that. So get dash VM network adapter. So I think I made the mistake with the commandlet. Okay, so let's clear. Again, the command is get VM. Okay, get VM. Then type that word get space get dash VM network adapter. Press enter. Adapter VM network adapter. 1 second. Get VM pipe get dash VM network adapter. That is correct. Let me see 1 second. Oh, it's right here in my eyes. I don't even see it. Get. Okay. Okay. So right now we searched the virtual machines and we can see that right now each of them has what? Each virtual machine, like you can see VM name, client 01, client 02, 701, 702, each of them has what? A virtual network adapter assigned to it as at the moment. And you can see right now they don't have IP address. The IP addresses that they have paper addresses. So that means that is saying that they are not able to receive what IP address. That's what that means. So what we need to do, I want to show you also another thing before we proceed, okay? And that is to teach you how to remove a VM switch, okay? To remove a VM switch, you have to just type the command get dash VM switch, get dash VM switch. We can type that as well to remove dash VM switch. And we don't have any VM switches, so we don't expect anything to be removed, okay? So we don't have any VM switches, but now you know how to remove any existing VM switches if they were in, okay? So now how do we create a virtual switch? Easy. So let's go back to our page that we had open. So here, we are going to create an external switch, okay? So just click on one, external, and click on create. That's all you have to do. The name, we're going to call it, we're going to give it a name. It's going to be VS virtual switch dash ext dash 01. Just give it a name, okay? This is the name I prefer to give to it, okay? And I'm going to click on apply. Okay, apply. Okay. And click OK. So this is how we create a virtual switch, external. So we're going to create another private switch. Switch one for external, one for private. So we're going to go again, virtual switch manager, and you take what? Private. And once you select private, then we can now click on what? Create virtual switch. And here we're going to type the name virtual switch dash PRI for private and dash 01 for virtual switch 1. And click on what? Apply and click on what? OK. That's it. So we're also going to create another virtual switch, but this time we're going to use what? PowerShell. So that to teach you how to create what? A virtual switch with PowerShell. So to do that, just write what? New dash what? VM switch. New VM switch dash name. I'm going to call it VS virtual switch PRI private dash 02 virtual private switch 2, and I'm going to call it switch type private, and enter. Let's wait for it. And we've created that. Now let's verify. So switch manager, see virtual private, external private 1, private 2. So we have successfully created virtual what? Switches. Now let's create another virtual switch, and this we're going to call it what? Internal. Okay? We're going to create that using PowerShell command. The same again, new dash VM switch dash name. So it's VS, going to be NAT dash 01, and we're going to call this switch type. It's going to be an internal switch. Type internal, and press enter, and just wait for it. And that has also been created. So if you watch, you're going to have external private. Let me close this. Hold on. Close this one more time. Yeah, there you go. So external private 1, private 2, NAT 01. So we have created all the virtual machines possible. Excuse me. So now we're going to create what we call the NAT object. So we just said we created a NAT switch. So we're going to create a NAT object that is going to be used to assign some private IP addresses for the virtual machines internally. And when they're going to browse outside, then they're going to be using what? A public address, okay? Or an address of the host, of the primary host. So that is exactly how it works. So I'm going to create the NAT using uh, I'm going to create the command. I'm going to create the NAT using PowerShell. So if you use that, you just write new dash net net NAT net NAT. The name is going to be dash name is going to be called KMW dash NAT. That's how I'm going to call it, and it's going to be an internal with an internal IP interface. It's going to be address prefix. Address prefix will be 10.1.1.0/24. Okay, and you press what? Enter. So this says that okay, now any computer or virtual machine that connects to this switch will be given an address, this address, but it's going to be using NAT. Okay. So as you can see, this is the information of the NAT that comes back. All right. So now let's also assign what? A default gateway of the NAT interface, okay? So that the PCs will use that address as what? Their default gateway. So we configure that, just run what? Get. This is a very, very important step, okay? You just write get dash net adapter dash name call that. I'm going to call that adapter and call that, and type that to new dash net IP address dash IP address 10.1.1.254. This is the address we've issued to it. Dash prefix length. That's a 24. Like that's like subnet mask. Okay. Prefix length 24. So basically, this is the same thing as right-clicking on this and say Internet Open Network. Then you go to what? Change adapter options, and from there you're going to see the NAT. This is the NAT one. So open properties and check the address. You see that it has been assigned what? An IP address. This is the same thing we assigned. So this, instead of me going through PowerShell to issue all of this command, I could have just come over there and just put in what? The IP address of the gateway. Easy as that. Okay? Not complicated. Alright, perfect. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is now we're going to have to start assigning. We're going to do some configuration on the service. We'll have to start assigning the service to the different adapters that we've created. So easily, you just have to go to what? Go to the server properties, double click on the right click on the server and click on what? Settings. Okay. So server 01 settings, and you go to what? Network adapter. From there, in the drop down here, then you choose what? So I want to go to the NAT server. So in that way, I apply and I click on it. Okay, this is how you assign a particular server to a particular network adapter. And we can do the same thing with PowerShell. So PowerShell, I want us to learn both ways, doing it on the other side and also doing it on PowerShell. So to do that, you just connect dash VM network adapter. Then what? The name, which is going to be VM name server. The server, that's the server that you are going to connect. Now that you are going to go to the properties to connect to that. That's what you should name there. Then that's what VM. That's switch. That's switch name, and give the name of the switch. VS virtual switch NAT dash 01, and press what? Enter. So this is how you connect. So for after that, this is say is successful. Let's verify. So go to server 2, right click on the server 2 and click on properties, settings, and the network adapter, and you see that it's connected to what we selected on the other side. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to get VM adapters just to see the outputs. So we're going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to connect all the client 1, client 2 as well. So let me just use PowerShell. I think that is a lot faster. So all I have to do is client 2. Start this one. Client 2 dash 2. Okay, that and client 1. Client 1. All of them are going to the NAT. Okay. Client 01 and press enter. And that's it. That's how you do the IP address configuration. Alright guys, so to verify that the VMs and the servers are connected to the vSwitch correctly, we use the command get dash VM pipe. Now get what? Dash VM network adapter. So we'll bring all the VM connection for you to have a look. All right, as you can see right now, they're all connected to on the NAT switch. Okay, yet they still don't have IP addresses yet. Okay, they still don't have IP addresses yet. So we're working on that. So the next thing that we are going to do is to do renaming of the VM adapters. Okay, we are going to rename the VM adapters. Alright, so guys, we're going to go into the virtual machines and perform the adapter naming. Okay, so changing the adapters from whatever Ethernet they name they are to what? LAN. Okay, so I'm going to perform this using what? PowerShell. So I'm going to go into the virtual machine. Let's say you go into server 01 first. So into virtual server 01, connect and expand it. So let me expand it. So login. So if right click on this properties, we want to verify first, okay? And once you go into Ethernet, you're going to see adapter options, and you can see what the name is what Ethernet. So we're going to use PowerShell inside server 01 and to rename what the adapter. So to do that, just a simple command, just say get dash net adapter. Then you pipe that to rename. I'm using the tab key to help me out. I don't want to type all of those comments. Uh-oh. It's not going to work out right here. Rename dash net adapter, then dash what? Name, new name, and we say it's called what? A line. This is the name we'll give it. Just press enter. Now let's verify. Refresh, and you see the name changed. Easy as that. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing for the others as well. Yeah, so that all of my VMs I want them to be named what? Rename LAN. The adapters to be called LAN. So I'm going to close this. So 702. This is a server core actually, so this is good for you guys. So I'm going to connect to that, make it bigger, and log in. Once I'm able to log in, I'm going to issue the command for PowerShell to open PowerShell, and it's going to convert to PowerShell. So now I can execute my PowerShell command. The same command, get. Let me see if I copy it if it don't work here. Alright, so let's see action. Okay, let's all this right. Get dash net adapter. Pipe that into what? Rename dash net adapter dash new name LAN. Easy. So I'm going to go to the other service and perform the same function. So it's been executed. So we can verify. 1 second. Let's verify. Yes, I'm going to come back to that, but I'm going to want to go to finish the others as fast as possible. I'm going to rename client 01 as well. We turn on client 02, so that's the time this one is up and running. So client 01 is up. We're just going to log in. And then minimize this so that I can connect to this and prepare it as well. So client 02. So let me minimize it. That one should be ready now. So client 01. Yep, it's ready. So use PowerShell or the same thing. I'll just go into here and just I'll rename it that way. It's a lot faster for the clients. I just want to show you how it works so you know how to use PowerShell to rename your adapters. So in this case, just say rename, just call it LAN. That's it. Okay. Press enter. I'll do the same for client 0 or client 02 as well. So client 02. Same thing, right click on this open network. Then network options. and rename it to what? LAN, and then that's it. So this is done. I'm gonna minimize this and minimize that. Okay. So now the next thing that we are going to do is to configure TCP/IP settings using what? PowerShell. So we begin with what? 701. Okay. We're going to assign IP addresses. That's what that is saying. So connect to 701, and inside 701, I don't know why we have to like go through all of that struggle to assign IP address. It's easy. Right click on it on the computer, open network preferences, and change network adapter options. And sorry, this is supposed to be on the client, not on the actual PC. So client PC 701, this one. So in here, I need to make it bigger to be able to see that. So right click on this here, and network adapter options, right click on this, and properties. From here, you'll be able to what? Assign an address. Base, you see IPv4, so you assign the IP address here. I don't know why we have to go through all of this, but remember, again, it's knowledge purpose, just so you know how to do it, okay? So just write new, that's the command to assign IP address. New net IP address, then dash interface, that's interface alias. Yeah, that's the alias name. LAN, as we renamed it to be, and dash IP address. Then the address for this will be 10.1.1 based on, let's see, 10.0.1.1. 701 is okay. 10.0 no 1.1.1. Okay, and 02 101.102. Okay. So we're sending an IP address of the 701. So 10.1.1.1. So the prefix is the subnet mask. That's prefix then 24. That's the slash 24. The default gateway, that's going to be 10.1.1.254. Remember how when we assigned it on the NAT interface? Yeah, so that's how you do it. So enter. Yep, and now there's network, and the output for the configuration is here and it's listed. IPv4 address, everything is configured. Now we're going to ping 111. So ping 10.1.1. We're going to ping itself, okay? And there's a reply. So we're going to ping the default gateway as well, the 254, and there's a reply. So that means that this computer is set up and it's almost ready to go. So we're going to go into 702 and perform the same functionality. So 702. Okay, 702, where are you at? There you go. 702 options, make it bigger. This is the server call, okay? It's the same thing. But we have not, we forgot to set up a DNS address. So I'll do this one 702 and go back to 701 to perform that function, okay? So okay, so we in, so I'm gonna go ahead and perform this. So new dash net IP address dash interface alias. Call this LAN. That's what remember when we renamed it as LAN. It's still there. As you can see it. And dash IP address. Call this 10.1.1.1. Now this will be 10.1.1.2. And IP prefix length. Prefix length is subnet mask. Okay, 24. Then default gateway. Gonna be 10.1.1.254. Okay, you press what? Enter. Okay, let's see. New NAT IP address. Let me confirm the command first. Oh, length. The spelling of length is wrong. Oh, one second. It's saying that interface alias. Oh, the spelling of alias is wrong. It's ALIA, alias, and press enter and wait. Good. The configuration has been successful. As you can see, it brought us what the IP addresses that will appear, the IP addresses of the interface, and the default gateway information. 1 second. The browser IP address and then the name of the interface itself, and we go down, and it didn't even bring the default gateway information, but that's fine. But we already know we configured it. One thing that we can do now, we're going to assign or set DNS. Okay, set DNS, that's domain name lookup client server address dash interface alias alias. We call it LAN, and set server address. Okay, server addresses. Then what? One. This is our default. Our DNS address for that. And one that is the less ping, our default gateway or itself, 10.1.1.2. It's pinging. Okay, now let's ping 254. It's pinging. Now I'm going to ping DNS. DNS is what? 1.1.1.1. It's pinging as well. So now let's go back and configure the 701. Let's configure 701's what? DNS server address. DNS server address. We're going to use the same command in PowerShell and just execute that. So it's going to be set dash DNS client, set dash DNS client server address dash interface alias. It's called LAN. That's what we named it. Dash server addresses 1.1.1.1 and press enter. We'll ping it. Let's see. Ping 1.1.1.1.1. The ping is working, so that means it's properly configured. So I'm going to assign the rest on the other clients as well. So I'm going to do the same configuration for client 01 and 02. Client 01. So I'm going to go here and just do that. It's easier for me. So 1 second. I don't know. This machine. So here, adapt options. Right click on this, properties, and double click on this IPv4 address, and you issue the IP address for that. And this one is going to be 10.1.1.101. Give all, this is 254, so that's the prefix. So it's going to be 255.255.255.0, and this will be 10.1.1.254, and DNS they say it's 1.1.1.1, and okay, okay, perfect, and this is good. So we'll go to client 2. So client 2 also is ready, same thing. So this is going to be 1.1.1.102. Next, 255.255.255.0. Next is 10.1.1.254. DNS is 1.1.1.1. And you click on OK, and you're good. So now